we don't really understand the importance of self-development. We don't understand the importance of a routine. And for so long, I was going off the seat of my pants. I was waking up, doing what I felt like, showing up here, showing up there. I always showed up, but there was really no routine. There was no set way that I showed up every single day. And I'm going to kind of start off with this talking about discipline. And me and Holly, like I said, we're just going to feed off of each other. That's what we do. That's what we're good at. I picked her because I feel like my team, especially, y'all look at me, you look at Rochelle, you look at Lindsay, you look at top leaders, you look at leaders that are further than where you are right now. And you think it came easy. You think that it's so easy for us to just show up. You think it's so easy for us to just do the things. But every single one of us started exactly where you are. And I can tell you right now that Holly will be a 40K. She will be a 12K. She will be whatever K she wants to be, because she decided that she's going to do the things that those leaders already show up and do. It doesn't just happen overnight. It doesn't come easy. It takes a lot of work. And I will never come on here and tell you that it's easy and that it just comes easy to you, because that's not how it is. You really have to find the root of what your limiting beliefs are. Okay. And maybe that's going to be, you know, your mindset, right? Maybe you have, sorry, I'm still admitting people, y'all. Maybe that's going to be that you want change, but you don't know where to start, right? And you have to just do the thing. So if you're saying, I can't do this, I don't have time for this, y'all, we have the same 24 hours in the day that everybody else does. Okay. What you choose to do with it is up to you. The way you choose to wake up every single day instead of snooze your alarm clock, that's up to you. The way that you wake up and you choose to have timer, y'all, I literally, as a 40K leader, okay, I have timers on my phone that tell me you can't touch these apps until 7 a.m. Why? Because I know I'm going to wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I need those first hour, 2 hours to really pour into my mind. I need to hang out with Jason. I need to play with my cat. I need to listen to a podcast. I need to write my journals, right? But it's going to look different for every single one of us. Okay. So I'm going to go into discipline, and then I'm going to throw it over to Holly, and I want her to touch on routine, and then we'll just feed. So let me bring up my notes to make sure that I don't go off track, because I'm really good at that. Let me just read over these real quick to make sure.
Can I just say I am so excited to talk about morning routine.
Girl, you
I have a little bit of notes, and it's from this morning, and it's literally everything that's popped into my head throughout the day, from my self-development all the way to now. And yeah, I'm excited.
I'm super excited. I'm super excited. So I was kind of going into, you know, why people fail, right? Why people fail, because you're not giving this 100% effort. You're not planning, excuses, and you're expecting handouts, right? You don't like being where you are. You don't like, I'm sorry, I'm still admitting y'all, this waiting room. You don't like being where you are. You have to get to work, right? You're broke. You don't have time. You don't have this. Then why aren't you doing the things you need to do, that you know you need to do, that you see us leaders doing every single day, that got us out of those situations? It's easy to sit there and write on a piece of paper, I want to be debt free. I want to make money. I want to have a paycheck. Okay, but what are you doing to get there? It's not enough to wake up in the morning. Y'all know I'm famous for this, right? These are my capsules. Y'all take some cute little selfie with your capsies, right? And then you share your little patch, you share your shake, and then that's it. You're like, Vita shake, Vitas, cute patch, right? And then you're gone for the day. You might share a picture of like the sky, the dirt, I don't know, your plant. But who are you talking to, right? What did you have to see every single day to be able to join who you joined? It wasn't because they were taking cute selfies with their capsules. You have to talk about what those 3 steps are doing. And I promise you, if you take 5 more minutes in your morning routine, and when you guys are taking these products every single day, what are they doing for you? There's a reason that you're taking them every single day. And it's not because they have cute packaging. Okay. If it was that easy, Jason Camper, we hear it all the time. He would be able to do his thing and we wouldn't be here. Right. And every single person that's underneath me wouldn't be here today if that's all I did. If that was everything I did, I just shared capsules. I talk about what those capsules did for me while I was working 2 full-time jobs. I talked about how I used to drink coffee all day long and how those capsules replaced that for me. I talk about how I hated shakes. I literally told Rochelle not to send me them. I didn't want them. I was very adamant that I was a drama queen. I was like, I'm gonna puke, I'm not gonna like it, it's awful, right? And thank God she sent it to me because it changed my whole entire life. I made it wrong for like the first 3 days because I don't listen. Shocking, right? But then I started to do it right. And I actually got out of my way. I got the almond milk. I did it, whatever. But since day one, I have taught, yeah, I'm still a drama queen. She's right. I still talk about my products. I talk about what they do for me. I don't just share my patch. I talk about what that patch is doing for me. People are super skeptical about these products, y'all. A, they've either tried them, they've tried other products and they didn't work. B, they think your sticker's stupid. C, they don't think that they need vitamins, right? It's true because they've already taken vitamins. They take daily vitamins and none of them work, right? So you need to tell them why your products, why they work for you. But most of all, what are they going to do for that mom? Maybe you're a mom and you never had a routine in the morning. You were waking up, snoozing your alarm clock. You were exhausted. You go to work, you come home, you sit on the couch while your kid plays on the floor. The best messages I get are that my team's actually able to come home and get on the floor with their kids and hang out with them. They're actually able to come home and make dinner for their family. They're actually able to come home and pick up around the house instead of let their dishes pile up for 7 days. Those are things that you need to share. Okay. That is what I mean by being disciplined, y'all. It's not hard. We just make things way harder than we need to be. Okay. Back to my notes. You want people to support you, right? You have to support you first. And that's going to go into the self-development piece that I really want Holly to touch on. It's huge. It's a huge part of what we do, and I will feed off of her. I'm going to leave that part for her. But the only difference between your 4K leaders, your 12K leaders, your 40K leaders, your 80K leaders, your 200K leaders, it's not the rank and it's not the volume. It's how they show up, right? It's how they support themselves when nobody else does. It's how they show up on the days that they don't want to, but they know that they're not. Y'all look at this. You look at today, you look at your paycheck this week and you're like, oh, $5. Okay, but what are you doing to ensure that next week's paycheck isn't $5? You can't keep doing the same things, but expecting that your paychecks are just going to jump and that people are going to jump and join your team when you're not bringing any value to them, right? I'm going to skip over that. This is a 90-day business. Okay. So when I talk about discipline, I mean not showing up for a day, 2 days, a week, a month even. I mean showing up and giving this 100% effort for 90 days. The things that you're seeing today, the results you're seeing today, the people in your inbox today, the paychecks you're seeing yesterday, that is a direct reflection of all the things that you've been doing for the past 90 days, not a week, not a month, for the past 90 days. And I talk about this all the time with my team, but anytime I hit a rank, anytime I hit a rank advancement bonus, it was not because I just woke up one day and said, I'm going to earn a bonus and earned a bonus. It was because I worked my business the same exact way every single day for X amount of time. And then those things launched and my feet were already running. My Nikes were already laced up, right? So if you want things to change, you need to really stay disciplined for the next 90 days. You want to talk to me in 90 days and tell me you're not seeing results. I'm going to ask you what you've been doing the past 90 days. Okay. This business doesn't build itself. Okay. The resources are right in front of your face. And the self-development piece of this is not just checking a box. Okay, y'all can, I was talking about this on my Work With Me last night. We were on for like an hour and 15 minutes. Lindsay would have killed me, but I got really in depth into the whole, it's so easy to have this list in front of you, to write in your planner, right? And to say you're going to do all these things. And then you check a box and you're done for the day. But did you really grow your mind? Are you doing self-development? Y'all hate self-development because you're not really doing self-development. You're just reading a book to read a book. You're writing, I am great. I am beautiful. I am pretty. I am cute. Are those things that you're really struggling with? Because I can tell you what my I ams are and they make me cry every day. It's stuff like, I am a mass enroller, because for so long I wasn't a mass enroller. I am, money comes in abundance to me because I have a very lack mindset around money. And you want to know what books I read? Books around money and limiting mindsets around money. Why? Because that's going to grow me. That's going to take the root of my block that's holding me back and grow me. I can read all these books and I can read, listen to these podcasts and do all these things because Sam does it and Rochelle does it and Lindsay does it and it works for them. That's what they need in their season, not what Sam needs. And that's what you guys really have to start focusing on. Okay. Anybody can do self-development, but are you really finding the root and the block that you're having and then developing in that aspect, right? That's what's going to change your business. Are you aware of what you're struggling with? First of all, write that down, right? Is it your mindset? Is it enrolling? Is it conversations? Is it showing the hell up? Is it, I can go on and on and on. Then I want you to go on YouTube, on podcasts, on books, Audible, whatever it is, and type in those things, because then you're going to listen and develop your mind in that area that you're actually struggling in. It's not just going to be self-development to be self-development. And that's when your whole mindset's going to change. That's what I had to do. Okay. That's how you dig deep and pull forth whatever your fears are, your limitations. Stop checking a box to check a box. Okay. You truly develop where you struggle. And that's the biggest thing. We are all wives, girlfriends, moms, college students, single moms. We all have reasons why we can't do things, right? But y'all know I'm always going to be blunt and red with you. They're excuses. And when my team comes to me with those reasons that they can't do things, I tell them how it is, because I needed somebody to tell me how it is. You're allowed to have a downtime. You're allowed to relax. You're allowed to not be on your phone all day, but your head better not hit that pillow unless you know that the things for your business that y'all want to be a 12K leader. If you didn't do the things that a 12K leader would do today, you better not rest your head down at night and sit there and watch Netflix for 3 hours and eat Cheetos on the couch and, whatever. Your kids play, your kids nap, your kids go to school, your kids lay down, your kids, whatever. You're not holding them in their hands all day long to the point where you can't work this business. Okay. I promise you that. I don't know a single person. Okay. Rochelle is like a superwoman. She's home alone. Her husband's in the military. Okay. She doesn't have anybody to help watch her kids during the day, every single day for about 364 days. Last I counted, it was a lot, maybe 352 days. I'm counting with her. Regardless, she doesn't make excuses. Does she have bad days? Yep. Does she have bad weeks? Yep. But you want to know one thing she doesn't do is not show up. It's easier to say, oh, I'm upset. Like my husband's this. Y'all, if I just didn't show up every single time my boyfriend was being a DICK, I wouldn't show up. I wouldn't do it. If I let my job, I work a job still. And that's what a lot of people don't know about me. I started this industry working 2 full-time jobs. So when people come at me and they're like, oh, my 9 to 5 was crazy today. Okay. All right. Y'all have lunch breaks. You have breaks. Y'all are sitting there and I know you're scrolling your phone. I know you're on TikTok. I know you're on Instagram. I know you're on Facebook. Instead of doing that, maybe go live for 10 minutes. Maybe go face-to-face in your stories. Maybe do a round of IPAs. You need to use that time that you have in the nooks and crannies of your day, and you need to be useful with that time. That's what I mean, right? So we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but it's how you choose to utilize it. We can have the hard time, relax, but not before all the things in my business are done, right? I chill out on the couch. I'm really bad at it. I'm a bad example. I'm really bad at chilling. Like I go 900 miles an hour at everything I do. I find that excuses are excuses. And where I want to be, that woman and how that woman shows up, she doesn't make excuses. She doesn't let the hard days get to her. Y'all, I have so many reasons why I cannot show up daily. My anxiety is super high all the time. I literally just switched positions and took a promotion in property management. I work a very busy job. Do I want to come home every single night of the week and host work with me's and host team trainings and work one-on-one with my team and host one-on-one Zooms and, do a round of IPAs and make content for the next week and Not always, but do I do it? Yeah. Why? Because the Sam that I want to be in 5 years, she wouldn't just lay on the couch. She wouldn't make excuses. She would handle those things very differently. So before I go into anything, I look at myself, and before I approach a situation, I say, how would the Sam that I want to be in 5 years? And I heard this on a podcast, right? And it really changed my life. How would the Sam handle this situation in 5 years today? And if I don't like it, whether it's dealing with one of my teammates, the way I responded to somebody, the way that I dealt with one of my customers, whatever it is, making excuses, doing things I know I shouldn't be doing. If the Sam that I want to be in 5 years wouldn't handle it that way, I'm not going to do it today. And a lot of you are holding yourself back and not doing a routine simply because you're making excuses, and you're allowing your why and the reason that you started this to become your excuse as to why you're not showing up. And that's the only thing that's holding you back. Your limiting beliefs, the fact that you snooze that alarm clock all morning, the fact that you don't have enough discipline to tell your husband or boyfriend or whatever, your significant other, listen, I really need an hour once a night for you to take the kid and let me work my business. Do you know how much you could get done in that 1 hour of just quiet, peaceful time? I understand that a lot of you are single moms. You're home all day with your kids. I understand that. Maybe you don't have somebody who can watch the kids or that can take over the kids. But if you do, you need to have that communication. Jason understands that the hour before we go to bed, that's our time, right? That's me and Jason time. My phone's on do not disturb. And for a long time, I didn't give him that time. For a long time, I ignored that. I ignored that that's what our relationship needed, right? So you're going to know what your relationship needs, blah, 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 blah. But I'm telling you, you need to remind yourself every single day. And if it's a alarm on your phone that tells you, Holly, get up, and it has your why, right? Rochelle, get up, and it has your why. Because every time when you go to snooze that alarm, you're going to have to look at that message that you wrote to yourself that's telling you to get the F up. And if you can snooze that alarm, I don't know what to tell you, baby, because that might be what you need. You might need a reminder every single day. And that's not up to your upline. It is not up to your upline to create discipline and motivation within your business. If I waited for Rochelle every single day to tell me to work my business, she knows I'm doing what I'm doing every day. She knows I'm doing what I need to do every single day. Why? Because I duplicated what she taught me. I didn't just hop on a Zoom to hop on a Zoom. I actually took what she was training me on and what she worked one-on-one with me on, and I applied that into my business and into my team. So that's what I mean by discipline. Y'all can like hop on Zooms, you can hop on this, you can do all these things, but if you're not applying any of them, what's the point? You're literally just hopping on Zooms to hop on Zooms, right? And I know a lot of people, I'll send messages sometimes and people will straight up ignore me, right? People will not answer me back in my team because I'm telling them what they don't want to hear. Right? They come to me and they have excuses. They have all this stuff, but then I come to them and I'm like, all right, it's time to get up. Here's a challenge. Here's this. What's all your goals? It's June 1st. I want to hear all your goals, and it's crickets. That tells me that they don't take this seriously, right? You have to be in control of your business, and you can't hold that on anybody else, not your leader, not your sidelines, not your 200K, not anybody else. It needs to be you that wakes up every single day and fights for who you want to be and where you want to be in the next 5 years, not next month. My boyfriend, I can't. Let me just look at my notes and then I'm going to put it over to Holly and I'll feed off of her after. Mom, I wrote some in my phone too. I want to ask you one more thing before I get off. And it's, did you join this to, I don't know, maybe some of you joined because you needed a community, but I know 90% of my team joined with reasons that are sitting on the stream board right behind me. And I can tell you that the only reason I haven't been able to take them down is because they don't think they're worthy of that. Are you treating this like a hobby, but expecting to get paid like a business? Are you showing up willy-nilly here and there, once a day, once a week, checking in with the chats here and there, maybe doing an IPA a day, not really getting it done, mass interacting because you think mass interacting on social media is going to get these people in your inbox? Or are you actually taking these things that the leaders are showing you and teaching you and applying them? Not once a week, every single day. I am a list person. I have tasks in my phone. I check them off as I go throughout my day, right? That keeps me on track. That reminds me that I'm doing what I need to do. It's easy for me to be like, all right, 5 minutes on stories, right? And then 10 minutes later, I'm on Aunt Betty Joe's dog's, cat's, uncle's profile, and I'm looking all up in their life and comparing myself to where Betty Joe's at instead of what the hell I wish I should be doing. You have to be disciplined enough to set boundaries and set timers and really be intentional with your time. This business isn't going to come easy to you guys. And if you look at us leaders and you think that it just came overnight, you're wrong. I failed over and over and over and over and over again. If something wasn't working for me, I didn't just keep doing it. I changed things up. If you're not a sponge to your enroller and you're struggling, y'all need to put that ego to the side. You need to be okay with asking for help. You need to be okay with being there. You join them for a reason. Lean on them. Be disciplined enough to know that you're struggling here. This is where I'm struggling. This is what I need. This is what I'm going to do to tackle it. You can't do it alone. That's not what a team is. There's no I in team. Okay. One more thing. There's something. And it's not a consistency problem that you have, it's a commitment problem. I wrote that down too, right? I hope every single one of you understands what you have your hands on. And if you don't, why are you here? If you're not here for a 5-10 year vision and you're just so focused on a week vision, a month vision, a 2-year vision, you're not going to make it here. Because the second adversity hits you, you're going to give up because your why and the reason that you're here isn't big enough. And that's why you're not disciplined. You're treating this like a hobby. You're putting things down like, I want to make $10 a week. I want to make $20 a week. I want 1 promoter in a month. Do those things scare you? Because I can tell you all these boards up here, these things make me cry in the morning. They make me cry before I go to bed. There are things that literally make me shake and give me goosebumps when I read them. And if your why isn't that big and you're not envisioned that much, you need to rewrite your why. You need to rewrite why you're here, because that's going to make you get up and get disciplined every single day and allow yourself to fail. Holly, go ahead, baby. I'll feed off you.
I actually need to close my window because I live by an army base and they're flying. So give me a second.
I'm sitting here talking to myself. It's fine. Holly's going to go in and talk about routines, self-development, morning routine, and I'm going to feed off of her. I love to interrupt her. It's my favorite thing to do. We do it on Zooms all the time. So Holly, go ahead.
Okay. I have a lot. Okay.
I'm ready.
And no one's home with me right now. They just had to leave. So yes, so excited.
That's like a godsend.
I know. Okay. Literally the first thing I wrote down this morning. Okay. I finished Atomic Habits this morning. You guys need to read this if you are having a struggle with getting out of a habit or starting a new one. You just need to buy it. 100%. Like, it's that book. Are you guys, am I frozen? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
No, you're good.
Okay. Yes. So get this book. I'm actually going to read a little bit out of it here in a second. So the first thing I wrote down after finishing this book this morning was stop with the BS excuses. You give yourself too many excuses. And I have been in the same boat. I'm still guilty of it to this day. I'm sure most of us are. There's an occasional excuse that slips into our brain and we're like, oh yeah, I could just but I need to get the dishes done. I have to get the dishes done. Okay, well then, how are you going to help yourself still get work done? And that's where I had to learn to wake up early. If you are still sleeping in, not only just snoozing the alarm, but if you're still just if you don't even have an alarm set, I remember when I first started, I've been here for over a year. And I remember when I first started, for the first few months, I kept hearing everyone say, well, you know, it's your own business. You don't have to set an alarm, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, most of the people that I saw success out of woke up early. They wake up 5, 6, pushing 7 in the morning. Like they are AM risers. And I actually was on my phone. I wanted to see what Google would say. And it says, early risers tend to be more productive for a variety of reasons, including having more time to focus on important tasks while the rest of the world is asleep. This also translates to fewer interruptions. So if you are a person that gets sidetracked, or you're like, I never have time to myself, I can't do IPAs, because that's an excuse. But if you feel like you never have the time because you're always busy, make the time. If it's you waking up early in the morning, do it. Okay, I'm here to tell you, I went months, probably like 6, not setting an alarm, and was wondering why everyone else is up. I'm missing the morning work with me's because I'm behind in life. And everyone else was already had already done their power hour of IPAs. They had already cleaned their house. They've already been out to the grocery store. And I'm like, okay, I need to change something. So if you're still in that same boat and you're like, I can't figure it out, but I need to figure it out, wake up early. It all starts with one thing. You might not be able to reset your entire morning routine in one day, but I wrote down, try to fix or change one thing every 2 to 4 days. Start with one thing. And that's also talked about in Atomic Habits. One thing at a time. You don't have to mass everything into one day because it won't work. You'll get overloaded. You'll freak out and you're like, I can't do this. You can do it. You just have to go at a pace. It is a marathon, not a race.
Can I say one thing before you keep going?
Yep.
Something I want to feed off of that. She literally took the words out of my mouth, because that's what I was about to say, right? That is something that I was trying to do. I was trying to do all these things, right? I'm trying to master all these things. Well, Rochelle's doing this, Lindsay's doing this girl's doing this girl's doing this. I need to do it all. I need to do everything in one day. And I burnt myself out to the point where I didn't want to do a goddamn thing. Okay. What I tell my team is take one thing, master one thing, take 2 to 3. You're struggling with IPAs, pick 2 to 3 IPAs, master those, do those for a week, get those down, get it to where you just do it, add another. That's what she means by that. Don't try to do the whole list of IPAs if it overwhelms you. Pick 2 to 3 and then add another one. Pick one habit, right? Maybe it's not IPAs, one thing. Master that for a week or so. Getting up early, setting an alarm, try a half hour instead of an hour. Master that. Then you're going to get into the habit of waking up earlier, and it's going to create a routine, right? That's going to create a habit. You're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it, right? When I was working 2 full-time jobs, I didn't want to wake up earlier than I had to. I knew I was about to go work 16 hours. Did I do it anyway? Yep, I did, because that was the only time that I had to myself. Keep going, Holly. I just wanted to touch on that.
No, I was talking to Rochelle earlier today, and she was saying, hey, I know you're moving not this week, but next week. Do you have any plans on how you're gonna do the business, with content and IPAs? And I said, I have a lot of batch stuff and it's really just my postings. But I've been working on my morning routine, because I normally I'm in a set routine here in our apartment. I wake up at 6 every day, but the past week and a half, I've challenged myself every 2 days to put my alarm back at least 15 minutes. So now I'm waking up at 5 in the morning. And that's another thing. I've tried the whole thing before. I've tried to be well, I wake up at 7 now. Tomorrow, I'm just going to wake up at 5 and I'll just do it every day after that. And I go 3 or 4 days doing that. And then the next day, I'm so lazy. I'm on the couch. I'm exhausted, because your body can't handle that. You have to realize it's not just a mental thing. It's a physical thing. That's literally where I'm at right now. You have to realize that it's in everything about you. It's not just a mental capacity. Your body, if it has not woke up at 5 a.m. in ever or years or months, you're not going to be able to keep doing that. You have to allow yourself to gradually get to that, and you will. So, if you keep saying you're tired, congrats, we're all tired. You have to get over that. You're an adult. You have to realize we're all dang tired. Yes, Thrive helps, of course. Once you take your Thrive, you're good. When it, if you didn't catch it, I highly suggest it. I watched this probably within my first 6 months or so, and this was another turnaround for me. What's her name? I forgot her name. I shared her a couple days ago in the chat, but she came up with a 5-second rule. In the morning, immediately as you wake up, your alarm goes off, you roll over, click it. Count down from 5 to 1. Mel Robbins, yes, her. Count down from 5 to 1. And when you hit 1, you throw that blanket up and you get out of bed. It will completely transfer your day. Like, completely. If you don't believe me, do it and you'll see. Do it for a couple days. You'll see. It'll completely change you. Because we're all tired. Just get out of bed. We're all tired. Get out of bed. I don't care. Stop with the excuses. If you want a business to run, if you want the time to run a business, you have to get up and you have to do the business. That's where the excuses stop. When you start making the time to run your business, you'll start realizing you were only giving yourself and allowing yourself those excuses because you didn't want to, honestly. Like I look back at myself and I'm like, wow, I was lazy. And I knew I could, I just didn't want to. But I also realized that my family needed this and other people need this. And for that, I had to wake up. So, if you know things need to change them. Only you can change them. I can sit here and tell you to change them. You may or may not change them. But I'm saying if you do, there's only good things on the other side. Everything you want is on the other side of that. You just have to allow yourself to stop giving yourself the excuse and just do it. Wake up earlier, set the alarms, go to bed earlier. I know Sam, she's like an old lady. She goes to bed at like 5 p.m. I'm surprised you're not in bed right now. No, but
I'm in bed by 9 o'clock. Okay.
That was another thing. I used to go to bed at, I actually asked Rochelle months ago, I said, what's your routine? I need to know it. I need to base mine off yours because she's also a military wife. So she's kind of in the same bracket of me. And she was like, I normally get up around like 6-ish, which it's probably changed since then. So don't take this to heart. I normally get up around 6 and I usually I put my phone down at 10 at night. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing that. That's something where I can start. Well, since then, since I've been waking up earlier, I have to go to bed earlier. So that's another thing. If your kids go down to bed at 8 or 9, go to bed an hour after. Don't stay up and watch Netflix and binge watch a couple episodes of The Circle or whatever you're watching for the next 3 hours when you could be sleeping and then waking up earlier and starting your business in the morning. Okay, this is where I'm going to read from the book. It's a little bit, it's not a lot. I highlighted this part in this book. I've only highlighted 3 things in this entire book because they stuck out that much. If you're wondering, okay, so he was talking to someone in this book. Anyway, it says, what's the difference between the best athletes and everyone else? What do the really successful people do that most don't? So pretty much what sets them apart. He mentioned the factors you might expect: genetics, luck, talent, but then he said something I wasn't expecting. At some point, it comes down to who can handle the boredom of training every day, doing the same lifts over and over and over. His answer surprised me because it's a different way of thinking. about work ethic. People talk about getting amped up to work on their goals, whether it's business or sports or art. You hear people say things like it all comes down to passion or you have to really want it. As a result, many of us get depressed when we lose focus or motivation because we think that successful people have some bottomless reserve of passion. But this coach was saying that really successful people feel the same lack of motivation as everyone else does. The difference is that they still find a way to show up despite the feelings of boredom. When you don't feel like doing IPAs, do them. You think Lindsay sits on her couch all day long and says, I don't feel like doing IPAs today. I'm not doing them. No, she doesn't say that. She says, okay, I don't really feel like doing it. I'm still going to do it because it's not about you anymore. I voice messaged a almost 5-minute voice message to Rochelle earlier. Yeah, you can get it on Amazon. I think I found it at Target. I think that's where I bought it. Yeah. Telling her about, what was I going to say? That was a sidetrack. I can't even remember what I was saying now. Yeah, 5-minute message to Rochelle. I honestly don't even remember now because I was thinking about the book.
I'm laughing at
Gosh.
you. Sorry. Oh, am I unmuted? Oh my God. I'm laughing at you, babe. It's fine.
Yeah, I can hear you. Anyways, it really just comes down to like, yeah, they say it's about.
Rochelle said how it's not about you anymore.
Oh, yeah. So I told Rochelle, I was like, I feel like I've had to go through these stepping stones lately of my own self-development. Everyone is on their own journey. So this is my personal journey. I had to talk about what the products did for me for the past couple months on stories. And I didn't know why. I just felt like, okay, well, this is how I get the message across, is how the products work for me. You know, I go live in the morning, show my capsules, do my shake, talk about how they make me feel, trying to focus more on how they make me feel rather than the ingredients. But all along this whole journey, it clicked in my brain when I was driving to the store today, when I was on a voice message with Rochelle, and I said, you know, why do I talk so much about the products and what they do for me? I can sit there every day and say, oh, they give me energy. They make me feel good. They make me feel like Superwoman and they're just amazing. There's 5-HTP and blah, blah, blah. Okay, but these same people, because I know you have at least one person that watches your story every single day. I know everyone on here has at least one person. They are hearing you talk about you. They want you to talk about them. And that was one thing that clicked in my head. I was like, all these people are listening to you. And from the outside, you have to think about it. If you're just sitting on these stories, like think about you watching yourself. You're just listening to this girl talk about, oh, these give her energy and they make her feel like Superwoman. Cool, click. But what if you flipped it and said, these can give you energy? You don't have to keep, like, literally just talk to them. You don't have to keep going to Starbucks every day and wasting your money. You could be taking this vitamin, this amazing shake that blends amazing. It's literally the best. And wear this, I called it an adult sticker, and you will have energy all day long. And then you can throw in, like, I've used it for this amount of time and I don't drink coffee anymore. And then flip it back to them. Like, you can say a little bit about yourself. It's like that 80-20 rule, 80 them, 20 you. So that is a big thing. If you feel like you are starting to talk more about yourself, realize that, yes, it's about you. Day one, when you signed up, it was about you because you were excited. You were getting your products. You were starting your business. Every day after that is about the people you can help. Okay, now go help another person have that same feeling. Go help another person, like, start their business for their family. So there's that. Sorry.
I want to touch on that too before I forget what I'm going to say. That was
Yeah.
a huge switch in my content. That was something that I also, when I was getting started, like Holly was saying, I literally, when I tell you guys on the Monday night Zooms, on the work with me's, on whatever, that I literally went live every single day and just did my 3 steps on camera. That's what I did. So yeah, when you guys go to my page now, you see Sam who like is loud and I'm energetic and I'm hype and I'm in their face. Like that wasn't me when I started a year ago, 2 years ago, when I started going live, right? It was something that really scared me. It was something that I wasn't comfortable with. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. So I knew I needed to do it, right? We don't just get on a bike and learn how to ride a bike. You have to fail. You have to scrape your knee. You have to get whatever. You have to do it, right? So then I started going live about other things. And I was like, okay, I can do this, like, right? And now I push that live button like it's my job. Like I literally go live now just to talk, like to hear myself talk. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, but it's whenever I have something on my heart. And I don't just talk about, like Holly said, people know my story. They're watching you every single day. And if you're talking about your story, which you should be every single day in one way or another, they know what it's done for you. People are selfish. They don't care what it's done for you. They need to know what it can do for them. So I talk about, like, those are the pain points I hit on. I talk to, I talk to the girls that are working 2 full-time shifts. I talk to the people who are working jobs that they hate. I talk to the people who have broken down cars in their driveway. I talk about the women who, God, I don't even know. I talk to all of them. Like I hit my pain points, and that's something huge. Like you need to talk to that person, right? Who are you talking to? What problems can you solve for them, right? Not just you, not what it's just done for you. What can it do for them? Products and comp plan, right? What could an extra income do this summer? I talked about this on my stories. What could an extra income do for somebody's family this summer? For the first time ever, being able to take their kids to a water park, being able to go and take their kids on a vacation and not have to take it out of their kids' savings. For the first time ever, be able to build their kid. Like you have to talk about what it can do for them. And I love that Holly touched on that, because that's where I paint a picture for people. So when people join my team, when people come to me, they're like, girl, you literally just spoke to me. I will take people's excuses and I will go live and I will talk about those things, right? When somebody tells me how broke they are, I ask them, like today, I was like, it's a new month, it's new goals, new but what changed with you? Are you going to look back in July? What's the next month? July, and say, oh yeah, nothing's changed. I'm still broke. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. Or are you going to get up right now and are you going to do something about it? Because I'm willing to help you do that. This is how I'm going to do it. X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? But you need to talk about what this business can do for them, because baby, I'm telling you that people are selfish. They don't care what it's done for you. They don't. They need to hear what you can do for them and what this opportunity can do for them. And it doesn't have to, you don't have to. And I want to say one more thing. I don't care if you're no rank, a 4K and you lost it. I don't care if you've never made a paycheck here. I don't care if you're not thriving for free. If you wake up tomorrow and you don't talk about how people can literally start their business for free and run this business for free and earn a weekly paycheck for free, just because you're not doing it doesn't mean somebody can't come in tomorrow and change your whole entire business. And that doesn't mean that they can't, right? So when you don't talk about the weekly pay because you're not earning it, when you don't talk about the free product credit because you're not earning it, when you don't talk about the auto bonus because you're not earning it, you're taking away from somebody who really needs that. And I need you guys to start thinking that way. And that's what changed it all for me. I was a 4K who couldn't maintain $2,000 in sales, and I was showing up and leading as a 12K and talking about how I won, how my credit score was a 200, but one day I would have a brand new car in my vehicle, or a brand new vehicle in my driveway. They saw my car getting towed out of my driveway every single day because it was breaking down on me. I didn't just randomly show up one day and say, oh my God, look at my new car. My company pays for it. They saw me struggle. They saw me literally go car broke trying to fix my car and I refused to get a car payment. I talked about that. I was like, I can't even imagine having a car payment because I'm already so broke. But I promise you one day my company's going to take over my car note, whatever I said. And I'm going to have a brand new vehicle in my driveway. I promise that one day me and Jason aren't going to have to share a vehicle to get to work every day that breaks down on us every single day. right? And that touches pain points too. You can't just show up and talk about the auto bonus and all these things. What is it going to do for you? What's it going to do for them? Just because you're not where you want to be yet and you haven't earned these things yet doesn't mean you're not going to. And when you do hit them and you take people on that journey, it feels a hell of a lot bigger and better to somebody who's been watching you when you brought them on that journey and they saw you from a broken down car, from a shitty credit score, working 2 full-time jobs, to all of a sudden being able to make your own hours, having a car that's paid for in your driveway, right? It's going to mean a hell of a lot more to somebody than you just showing up when you get the things. Nobody wants that. They don't want perfect. They can't relate to that. They need to know your struggle, because somebody else out there is struggling and their car's breaking down on them every single day, and they need that car note so that they can get a car for their family, right? A safe vehicle. Sorry, I just went off a tangent, but I want to talk on that.
It's okay. I was gonna say, don't suggest Thrive. Tell them they need Thrive. Tell them why they need Thrive. You're already on Thrive. They assume it's great for you because you're the one selling it. That's the whole point of selling. You believe it. The whole point of selling, I've come from a lot of selling background. The whole point of selling is because the potential customer already believes that you believe in your product. You don't have to tell people that you believe in the product. You just have to A, show up, and B, tell them why they need it. So if it's energy, tell them you need this because of energy. You need this because if you are nutso and have anxiety, you need this white or black label. If you have breakouts and can't manage your weight and you have a sugar, problem, you need gut health. This will take care of that for you. Don't say cure because it doesn't cure, that whole thing, but it will take care of problems for them. It will help them. So there's that. Back to kind of like what I was saying earlier. Some days it will be boring and you won't want to work, but you have to. That's just something that you have to get over. And when you unlock that mindset, it is a whole nother you. Like you'll start looking at yourself differently because I have the same thing. It's like a little voice in your head. You're like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then there's a voice and it's like, you don't have to do it. Well, don't give yourself that excuse because you should do it because the end result if you do it and if you don't do it. So if it's something you want, do it. And that way, when you do that, if you've been struggling all day to do your IPAs and you're like, oh my gosh, I just need to get them done. Like I haven't even done them. Do them. And then afterwards, your brain is going to be like, huh? You just completely flip the switch in your own brain and you've unlocked this like whole new chapter of yourself where you're like, I can overcome that. I can overcome the excuses. I can overcome that. So it unlocks a whole new mindset. Trust me, you just have to do it. You have to learn. That's where the discipline comes in. You have to have the discipline to literally shut off that part of your brain and be like, shut up and just do the IPA or the IPAs. And then you do it and you're like, this side of your brain's like, oh, wow, it wasn't that bad. I can do it. It's not that hard. And it will get easier because once you start overcoming all these things in your brain and in your mind, it'll just become easier. Those hard days, there will be less of them. The excuses will start dwindling and life will become easier. So there's that. Try to fix one thing every 2 to 4 days. Don't overload yourself. If you look at another upline or side sister or whoever, and you say, I want to be her, I wish I was her, I would love to have her mindset, whatever it is, talk to her. Ask her how she got there. Because I can guarantee on her day one, she was not like that. Or he, whoever you want to talk to. If you still are in the situation, this was another thing that came up in my brain when you were first started talking. if you find it hard to get a structure around your day, it doesn't have to be perfect, but let's say morning routine. Say you're a mom, say you have a job, say you run a daycare or whatever it is. Stop trying to relate to someone else on the team that is completely opposite of you and go find someone else that's on Limitless or Lionhearted. I don't care. Whoever under Emma, go find, because I can guarantee there's probably at least 10 of them. Go find someone that has been in your shoes and ask them how they have molded like the business into their day, how they have fit it into the gaps of their day. If you have 5 kids and work a 9 to 5, go find someone that has a bunch of kids and works a 9 to 5 still, and go ask them how they do the business. Casey Bass has how many kids? 3, 4, something like that. And then her husband's a pastor, and they have a family business. And she's an 80K leader. She made it work. If you want it that bad, you have to make it work. You can't just look at them and you can't look at their chapter 50 and base it off of your chapter 2. If you're intrigued by them, ask them how they got there. Ask them how they have put the business into their day. Ask them how they started their morning routine, because I can guarantee it all started in their morning routine. That's pretty much all I have to say.
I love that. I love that so much. I'm so happy you came on, because I feel like a lot of people, they hear Sam talk, they hear me talk, they hear me pour into y'all. And so many times I hear, well, you don't understand. You're not a mom. You don't understand. It's easy for you. Y'all, it wasn't easy for me. The biggest limitations that I had to go were in my head. And I want to read these notes that I have, and I'm going to leave you guys with this, okay? You have to get rid of the idea that just because you take an action means you're going to get an immediate result from it. It takes doing it over and over and over again. And you guys have heard this metaphor all the time, but I had to write it down, right? The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. It's not going to happen. You need to keep doing it over and over and over again. It could take weeks or even months for you to be able to see the harvest within your actions and see the results from your actions. But if you just detach yourself from that idea, lower your expectations a little bit, and fall in love with the process, your business isn't going to be overwhelming to you. If you don't love what you're doing every single day, you're not working your business like you should be. Right? This business takes so much time, so much time. And if you can't see yourself staying consistent for 6 months to a year before you start reaping the results of the daily actions that you're taking right now, not your actions when you feel like it, not your actions when you're having a good day, not your actions when you wake up and you think that, you know, it's just going to happen, right? But the actions you take every single day, this isn't the business for you. Because you're going to end up giving up because you don't have a long-term vision that you're working for every single day. All of this, y'all, comes from love. It comes from, I've failed. I've done this. I've went through the trenches. I've failed over and over and over and over and over again. I allowed myself to look stupid. I allowed my mindset to be shiz. You like that? Shiz. But I knew I needed to change it because what I was doing wasn't working for me anymore. And I understood, and I finally clicked in my brain that I needed to, you can go off, Allie, I won't end it. I needed to figure out in my head that I wasn't going to see immediate results just because I've been consistent for 2 days, for 3 days, for 4 days out of a 7-day week. I needed to get a routine that worked for me. Because when I was trying to be Rochelle, who was a stay-at-home mom and was home all day long and didn't have, you know, a job or whatever, and I'm not saying that it's easy, and I'm not saying that at all, but her routine, like Holly said, and the way that she works her business is very different than the way I needed to work my business, because I do work a job. I did work 2 full-time jobs, but that didn't mean that I made excuses and said, oh, it's easy for her. She's home all day long. She can do this because she has all the time in the world. It's not easy. It's even harder, y'all, to be home all day long and create discipline. to want to show up because you're home. You don't have to. When you go to a 9 to 5, you have no choice but to clock in and out. Treat your business like a 9 to 5, like a part-time. I don't care what the hell you treat it like, but take it seriously. And don't just show up for a day or 2 days or 3 days and then get pissed off because you're not seeing the results and your inbox isn't blowing up and your mindset hasn't changed overnight. You're going to look back in a month and 2 months after you consistently did these things that you didn't want to do. And you're going to say, holy shit, I did it. That's all I had to do. And then it's going to become something you keep doing and you keep doing. You guys want a team. You want people to come in under you. How are you going to be able to lead them if you don't allow yourself to fail first, right? If I would have never had bad paychecks, bad weeks, people talk crap about me, my family not support me, my boyfriend not understand it, if I never made excuses myself, if I didn't have a bad season, if I didn't allow myself to actually learn self-development, if I didn't actually write down my vision, how was I supposed to show up and walk my team, my now team, my 40K team through those trenches, right? So before you point your finger and look at somebody and think, oh, it's easy for them, or it came easy to them, or people just like them. I hear that all the time too. People just love you, Sam. They don't. I have a very strong red personality and not everybody can handle that. And I'll be the first one to admit that. And my leadership is also very red. And I come off in a very loving but harsh way. I'm never going to tell anybody what they want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And this tonight was what you guys needed to hear. Okay. It takes creating small habits that are going to transform into atomic habits. We'll use that because that was the book, right? But you can't just wake up tomorrow and say, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, because the next day you're not going to even do A or B. So start with 1 or 2 things, master those, add another. Stop trying to be everybody else. Stop taking everybody else's why and what they're doing and what's working for them. Y'all, there are very, very, very few leaders on Limitless, Lionhearted, period, that I follow, that I watch. Everybody's muted. There's maybe 3 to 4 people that I interact with. Why? Because I started to water myself down and show up as a version I didn't like. I was showing up as somebody that wasn't me. I could be a blue leader. I can be a yellow leader. I have times where I cry with my team. Oh, there's my kitty. That poor cat. Oh, that stray cat. Sorry, y'all. But I'm red. I'm me. I'm Sam. I go on my stories and I rap music. I go on my stories and I swear. I go on my stories and I scream and yell. I go on live and I tell people to get the hell up. And the people that join my team come in and they know how I'm going to lead because they know who they're joining, because I didn't show up and say, hi, I'm Sam. I don't swear. I love the Bible. Y'all, that's not me. So if I was trying to show up like Katie, who preaches the Bible and preaches this and preaches about that, people would come on my team and be like, who the hell is this girl? Like, is she good? And I did not join this girl, right? So when I tell you to show up authentically as you, show up authentically as you, because I have found my team. I have found my family, right? And people are they're going to join you for you, your heart, not because you're a 4K, a 12K, a 20K, a 90K. Nobody knows what the hell that even means. They're going to want to join the girl who's consistent every day, who shows up every single day, who pours into her team, who shows up to trainings, who they know that when they join your team, they might not know what the hell they're doing, but you do. And you're willing to show them how. Why? Because you allowed yourself to fail forward and do it first, right? I'm reading these. Hold on, Holly.
I have 3 things now.
But at first I was like, no.
I have 3 small things to talk about.
Thanks, Kelly. I love you too, girl. I love you too, girl. That's fine. I'm not, I told you, I'm red. Go ahead, babe.
All right, first one that popped in my head, because I've been through it too. It's called fail forward, okay? You have to learn, you have to fail forward. What happens if you don't give up? All right. How can you expect to tell, yes, we all want a team. Yes, we all want a big business. We want all the glamorous. We want the money. We want to help our family and help others and blah, blah, blah. How can you tell another girl to get the F up when you won't get the F up.
Yep.
And she won't join you because she sees you aren't getting the F up.
And she's going to join the girl that's consistent and shows up every single day because you're not. So there's so many people thriving, doing It Works, doing freaking Monet, whatever. They're going to join the girl who shows up every single day, messy, with her hair in a bun, not perfect, not with makeup all over her face, who just shows the hell up, period. And if you don't want to show up, don't get upset that people aren't joining your team, because they're going to join the girl that's consistent 7 days a week, not 2.
Another thing was IPAs. I talked to my team about this because I asked them, I said, are you guys struggling with IPAs? Is it just you're not doing them? You don't understand them? Is it overwhelming? Are you doing them? And most of them said they either don't do them because they're overwhelmed, or they do the minimal of whatever that is in their mind. And I said, okay, well, what are they? And they would tell me, and it was everything but the behind the scenes work. And I said, you're doing the posts and you're putting your stuff in your stories, but you don't get people in your inbox because you're not talking to them. People, most of the top leaders spend like 2% of their time in the feed. It's all in the stories, baby. All in the stories. You have to get better at talking to people. You don't have to spell your whole life. You don't have to spill your whole life. You just have to relate to them. Okay? And just like Sam says, what is it, 4 people a day?
Yeah, pick 4. I will literally, I will say, okay, here, set a goal. I want to have 4 new conversations every single day.
4.
Some days
if you watch 100 stories in a day, 4. Anyway, there's this quote I found on Instagram a long time ago, and it has stuck with me for a very long time. And it says, if you fight for your limitations, which goes with excuses, if you fight for your limitations, congrats, you get to keep them. That's it. That's how simple it is. If you fight and keep making excuses, which is fighting for your limitations, that's all you'll ever have. You have to start fighting for the things you want, and you'll start getting them. But anyways, with the IPAs, yes, I will send that in the group. Sorry, that was my last thing. But IPAs, if you feel overwhelmed, same thing with like the pick one or the fix one or whatever I was saying in the morning routine. Yes, starting tomorrow, I want you guys to do this. Like, if you guys suck at waking up, start with that, because that's the very first thing your brain does in the morning is wake up. Set an alarm, do the 5-second thing, count down, and wake up 15 minutes earlier than what you normally do. That's it. And then go about your day. And then you will like fix your morning routine as you go. Do not do it all in one day. I will be mad at you if you do, because you will overwhelm yourself. Take it from me. Okay, been there, done that. Don't do it. Take the dang time for yourself. You deserve it. And then IPAs. If you're working your IPAs or you aren't, or you struggle, or they're overwhelming, stick with the main 3. Story interactions, 3, 2, 1, whether it's least interacted or new or old or whatever it is, I don't care. 3, 2, 1s. And it doesn't have to be a 3, 2, 1. You guys know this. It could be a 1, 1, 1. It could be a 1, 2, 1. You know that. Okay. Yeah. And adding to network. You have to add. And that comes down to niche. And if you don't know your niche, do a bubble diagram. If you're a mom, cool. Start with that. Mom is your main circle. All right. What kind of mom are you? Now branch. There you go. Bubble diagram, guys. There's a lot of like techniques you can figure out about who you are. And that was another thing I personally struggled with. I probably went at least most of my first year struggling, trying to be this person and that person, this person, that person. And no, it's very hard. Okay. So I don't suggest going down that road. But
so can I have like a question for a second?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's hard when I do a 3, 2, 1 on someone. So like I see them watching my story every single day.
Yep.
I go in, I do a 3, 2, 1 on them, and then the next day, like they don't post anything new. So I'm trying to do a 3, 2, 1 on them again, but like I've already liked all their stuff or commented on all their stuff. Like there's nothing new.
If they're
So I
not
feel like it's
interacting
hard
with you and they're not
sometimes,
responding back to you, they're not your people. Period. If I comment on somebody's post, I'm interacting in their stories and they leave me on red or they don't
But this
respond,
girl,
I'm not
but this
gonna
girl
interact.
like is ready. This girl has gotten a 3-day sample, loved it. Like she watches my stories, like she's right on the verge of buying, but like it's hard to interact with her. Like I mean, I can talk to her, but like to go do like a, just, you know, if we're not like in the midst of a conversation at the moment,
That's where
like
you
and to
have
go
to
like
match
love on
energy.
her, it's hard when there's nothing new.
That was one thing Rochelle had to teach me, was you have to match energy, because those people are testing the waters. They're not ready yet.
And they might come to you in 2 years and say, girl, I'm ready. That's fine. Keep interacting with them, keep them on the forefront, but go and make new relationships and stop focusing on the people that aren't ready today. Because that's what's going to hold you back, because you're so focused on the 2 people that told you they were ready that really aren't ready, rather than going and finding 15 new people that you haven't even talked to yet. They're going to change your whole entire business.
One little tip, and it's not a secret, but it's a tip. You will always have that. It's not something that you have to or you will overcome, because Emma and Lindsay still deal with that. That's just people. That's not your fault. You just have to learn how to pretty much get over it. Like that's the nicest way to say it, because I had to learn that. Sam's had to learn that. Everyone has that has been through that has to learn it, and then it'll just keep happening, and they're like, okay, it's a thing. It'll keep
like,
happening.
let them watch.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, you want it for them, like get it in your hands, come on. But you have to love people where they are and realize that not everyone takes the sample that first day they get it and then orders on the 3rd day.
And then you're going to attract people that really don't want this, when if you just would have waited for them to come to you, you're going to spend more time chasing after those people. I've done it. I'm guilty of it. I made people ready that weren't even ready yet. Promoters, especially.
Me too. And it doesn't work out.
No, you spend more time chasing them down.
Promoter, it doesn't work out. Trust me.
So I'm going to leave you guys with the fact that Lavelle just launched a huge promo. Okay. Like a huge promo. So after everything that we just went over, I want to know who the hell is going to show up. I want to know who's going to give this promo your all. Okay. Let's go over this real quick and then I'm going to get off.
Oh my.
There is many things for you guys to be able to run after, okay? The veteran PPA game, the top 7 veteran promoters with the most PPA volume during the contest period. So it's running from the 1st to the 15th and then resetting the 16th to the 30th, okay? The most PPA volume during those periods will win. If a tie occurs, the tiebreaker will be a number of PPA orders. PPA volume will be calculated. PPA is your personally enrolled, new personally enrolled people, right? Same with like regular enrollments, right? So your PPA is going to be the people that are your personally enrolled, not your team, you're personally enrolled. PPA volume will be calculated less any credits used toward a qualified purchase. For example, an order appears to generate 100 PPA, but $25 in Thrive credits were used towards that purchase. In that case, you would only earn 75 PPA for that order, right? That's for the veterans rookie PPA game. The top 7 rookie promoters, so people that just joined within the past like 30 days, I'm assuming 60 days, with the most PPA volume during the contest periods will win. If a tie occurs, the tiebreaker will be the number of PPA orders. PPA volume will be calculated less than any credits towards a purchase, just like we went over, okay? A rookie is defined as someone who is within their first 90 days. So whoever's brand new up in here, get your freaking running shoes on, okay? Free account enrollment game. The top 7 promoters who generate the most new personally enrolled customer and promoter accounts during the periods will win. The tiebreaker will be the first time order volume generated from the new accounts. Prize winnings for this game only will be paid out as 50% Thrive credits and 50% as an Apple gift card. For example, if you place 4th in the free account enrollment game, you'll receive 250 in Thrive credits and an Apple gift card for 250 for a total of $500. Okay. I'm going to go over what the places are after. Promoter upgrade package game. The top 7 promoters with the most volume from personally enrolled promoter upgrade package orders will win. first time and repeat upgrade orders will both qualify. Okay. So your personally enrolled promoters, they place a pack, that counts. New promoter accounts, that counts. Paid as a 200K game. For any promoter who achieves $2,000 in qualifying volume from personally enrolled first-time orders, these must consist of at least 4 first-time customers and 4 first-time promoter orders with at least 10 new free accounts during the contest periods. Promoters who qualify during the 1st and the 15th game will be paid as 200K for the month of July. Promoters who qualify during the 16th and the 30th will be paid out as a 200K for the month of August. First time 4K game. First time 4K qualifiers during the month of June will receive $1,000 in Thrive credits and $1,000 cash bonus. Okay. So the places: first place, $2,000, second place, $1,000, third place, $500, fourth place, $500, fifth place, $500. Sixth place, 250 in Thrive credits. Seventh place, 250 in Thrive credits. So what are y'all gonna do? You're gonna run hella hard after that paid us a 200K game, right? Especially for people that have been here for a long time that have already ranked 4K. Y'all are gonna wanna run for the $2,000 in volume. Why? Because that's also going to help you get all the points for all the other things that are going on. Like, I don't know if y'all understand how big this is, but this is huge, huge. Okay. Probably one of the biggest things I've ever seen Lavelle do in the past 2 years that I've been here. This isn't for one rank. This isn't for one person. This is for rookies, brand new people who haven't even joined your team, and people who just started yesterday or this week. There's something for all of you to win. Just work your damn business. But again, and I will say it until I'm blue in the face, y'all can't get mad if you don't earn these things if you haven't been working your business. So start today and just work your business, because when these things launch, you're going to have it in the bag already. You're already going to have it in the bag because you've already been working your business. When I earned double, triple, 4K ranks, the bonuses I've earned, it wasn't because I just did it. It was the work I put in for the 2 years prior that got me to those things. Okay. So not a single one of you should count yourself out. Not a single one of you. I don't care how long you've been here. If you're brand new, these things are huge. Like, this is probably one of the best promos I've ever seen.
Can we just talk about that 4K one though?
Yeah, that's huge.
That's
huge.
$2,000, you guys.
Yep.
1,000 in credits. You know how much product you can get? You know how much
Do you know how much volume
promos you can do with that?
Yeah, I was gonna say with 1,000, I can take $100 in Thrive credits and turn that into, I've done 2,500 in volume with promos.
Exactly.
Do you know what you can do with $1,000 in Thrive credits and turn that into volume for people? Like,
you
think
could
about that.
literally turn around and be like, anyone that orders the 400 pack to start their business will get a free product. It could be Sculpt. $30, guys. And you just added another over 400 in volume. Like, that is a big one for people that have not hit 4K.
And this is all about personally enrolled too. You know what I mean? That's the best part. Like, it's
your
not
business,
based on,
yours.
yes, not your team. Y'all can't sit back and be like, my team's not working.
Yeah.
Are you?
Or, oh, my team will take care of it. No,
Correct.
baby, it's your time. Get up.
This is
Get
all
up.
about you. And I have never hit a rank based on what I love my team, and my team works very hard, but I never depend on them to get a paycheck every single week. My whole entire team could fall off tomorrow and I would still be working my business just the same.
Yep.
And you have to have that mindset. You should not put all of that on your downline and be like, I'm just going to sit back and we'll let my team do all the things. And when if your team were to crumble tomorrow, are you still going to be able to show up and work your business and enroll? Or no, because you got comfortable and complacent with that one good promoter you had. I have very strong promoters and very strong customers underneath me, and I have a very strong team. I think I have, between both accounts, I have 20 something promoters active, right? Do all of them show up and work? No. Nope. Very, like a handful of them. A handful of my promoters show up and lead from the front. But I can promise you that every single one of those strong promoters is not counting themselves out of these promos right now. They're going to show up every single day, whether they get these things or not. and they show up whether they earn a bonus or not. And most of them are on here right now, still on the Zoom. Okay. So I love y'all. I hope I cannot wait to see who earns all of this stuff. Thank you for hanging out with us for an hour and 15 minutes. It's fine. I love y'all. I'm going to place the recording. So if you have somebody that wasn't on that you think needs this, please share it to them. I'm going to put it in Limitless. I think I'm going to put it in Limitless team page. But this is huge, y'all. There is something for every single one of you to win, whether you're a strong customer enroller, a strong promoter enroller, a strong just enroller period. This is for all of you. And there's so much cash up on the table right now that not a single one of you should count yourselves out. I love you guys so much. Polly, thank you, babe. By the way, thank you.